Answering that question is, do we need banking? Do we need banks? I believe that the complaints are coming more from people who wanted to place their money in the bank and be able to grow wealth that way. All right. That's never been the intent. Welcome. Listen, I'm super excited to see you. I just got off of a virtual event. So we had a virtual event that I was able to be a part of. And what we was talking about, the theme was taking your finances, okay, personal and business, as well as your financial education to the next level. All right. And when we got to the Q&A part, the conversation was so good. I got my camera out and I said, hey, I got to film this. All right. Because I was thinking about you all and I wanted you to get a chance to be in on this conversation that we're having when it comes down to some hot topics, even some sticky topics now lately that's been talking about, whether it's banking and its usefulness and what should you do, all of those things. Okay. So check this out. We're going to get into it right now. You're going to get a chance to see some exclusive behind the scenes of the Q&A of the virtual event that I was able to be a part of. Check this out. And so your financial worth is going to be deeply impacted by your ability to have ideas for increased funds. Okay, your ideas for increased funds. See, it's your ideas that get funded. All right. If you want to be able to receive from the financial institutions, it's your ideas that get funded. So the issue isn't the fact of, hey, I put my money here, why didn't I get a big enough return? I think the issue really should be is why am I not coming with the ideas in order to be able to grow my funds, grow my financial position, grow my financial situation. And so when I talk about coming with the ideas, is that you have to be willing to invest in the ideas that you bring to financial institutions. If you're talking about, I'm looking to come and I need money for a project, but I need 100% financing, then it says that I want you to take all the risk. It's tough to find really anyone who's willing to take all of the financial risk and have no ownership in your business. Okay. That means that if it does not work, you say, hey, maybe next time, but they're left with nothing. So you have to be willing to invest in the ideas that you say are going to work. And when you invest in the ideas that you say is going to work, it increases the likelihood of you making sure that this thing works. And that's what that financial institution wants you to do. So what I want to say then in answering that question is, do we need banking? Do we need banks? I believe that the complaints are coming more from people who wanted to place their money in the bank and be able to grow wealth that way. All right. That's never been the intent. When you look back in the past and when banks and things were set up even more, and especially as they begin to go more digital, but when you take it back to the point of cash, all right, you place money, people place their money in the banks because it was not as safe to walk around with that amount of cash. OK, but it also allowed them to be able to transact in a lot of different areas that still exists today. But it was never the idea that you were going to place your money into a financial institution and you were going to be able to be extremely wealthy because that financial institution was going to make it so advantageous and lucrative for you that if you placed 100 in, that few years from now you was going to have $1,000. OK, we don't want to confuse the financial institution or the bank with the stock market. OK, if you want to be able to grow your funds significantly, all right, the stock market would be where you would do it, picking the right investments, of course, over trying to put your funds in something like a CD or a savings account and say, I want to expect a return of 100 times in a matter of a few years. OK, when we think of growing our money, we want it to be safe. OK, but if everybody wants safety, then the price that safety pays is going to decrease. And that's what we got to think about when it deals with these financial institutions. If everyone wants safety, then that means that the market for safety is overwhelmed. That means what safety pays is going to decrease. OK, but when you take a look at things like the stock market and other things, see, it's not as safe. So as a result, what happens? It pays you more of a return. OK, because not everyone is willing to do it. So if you're in something that everybody else is in, OK, it's going to pay you less. It's the same way. If you got one pie and you got so many hands into that pie, you're not going to receive much from that pie. But if you got another pie over here and it's less people, then you get a chance to eat more. So if we want to be able to eat more, then you got to put your money in places that allow you to eat more. But if you want safety, OK, I think one of the things that you can get from a safe standpoint is safety in your own ideas. And the idea that you have is what you should be focused and working on in order to go to the financial institution, not just to say, I use financial institution banking in order to park money, I use it to receive money. So you got to get on the other side of it, okay? If you don't ever plan on getting on the other side of it and be someone who receives money from financial institutions, then yes, for you, you can be frustrated and say, man, this is just not working. But if you're someone who's going to take ideas and be on the other side, receive funding in order to be able to grow and see these ideas come to fruition and have a great financial impact, then yes, you want to be able to have a financial institution. Banking works for you because it's one of the only places where you can get majority of the funds you need for a project without forfeiting ownership, okay? And with being able to set up repayment terms, and you don't have to put up majority of your money. That's the